existing new loans subject to lender approval. Price comparison for exact same stock vehicle before purchase. Prior sales excluded. Offers do not combine. Expires month end.
KiaofCleveland.com.
Listen to the Alon Exchange, hosted by financial professionals Jay and Brittany Hagee, owners of Alon Planning Partners. Each week they discuss all things financial and answer your questions about investing, preparing for retirement, paying down debt, and more. The Alon Exchange, Saturdays at 7 a.m. on ESPN Cleveland 1013.
From the Fun and Games Department.
Get registered now for the Mix 1041 and Cleveland Insurance Spring Home Refresh. It's your chance to win great prizes to spruce up your home this spring. All the details are at mymix1041.com. Brought to you by Independent Insulation, Cleveland Utilities, and Mermaid Mattress.
Mix 1041.
I'm Andy Morris.
I'm Jim Gum.
You're listening to ESPN Cleveland 1013, Home of the Drive, presented by Hardee's, Monday through Friday, 5 to 6 p.m.
From the Kia of Cleveland Studios, this is ESPN Cleveland 1013, WCLE HD2 Cleveland, W267BI Cleveland, ESPN Cleveland 1013.
The top of the hour is presented by Best Buy Metals, making the top of your house the best it can be. Visit bestbuymetalroofing.com.
It's time for The Drive on ESPN Cleveland 101.3, presented by Hardee's. We will bring you nonstop sports news from the national and local scene and everything in between. So buckle up and join in on the conversation. It's The Drive.
Don't take no slap. Got a thirst for killing. Think your body. Woo!
Welcome back to The Drive here on ESPN Cleveland 1013, presented by Hardee's. Excited to be here on this Monday. And I do want to say this, Mark Smith with Smith Family McDonald's in with us. And just like our rivalries here in town, obviously The Drive presented by Hardee's, Mark Smith, Smith Family McDonald's, we can coexist in this world. We can get along, but when it comes time for the competition, we're ready to step up, aren't we, Mark?
Where the Johnsons are good people.
Yeah, they are. And my guy Ephraim Kyle back on with us. He's our producer today. Glad to have you back. Unfortunately, there's a reason you're back. We're going to talk some high school baseball. All three local teams in the area, season over. Mm-hmm. Hate to say that.
Hey, we made it farther than your boys over at Walker.
That's true.
I'm just happy about that.
Sure did.
Congratulations on graduating.
Yeah, that too. Graduate as well.
Now.
Listen, had a big weekend, and we're going to talk about a lot of this stuff today. Again, I'm Andy Morris along with Mark Smith, Ephraim Kyle, filling in for Jim Gum, who's on the road, and Jacob Mason, who's coaching some T-ball now. His son's out there playing. He's just trying to find a way to get away from me at this point is what we're doing with Jacob Mason. But going back to your weekend, you had a big weekend because not only did you graduate, then you have the Blue Sea Awards Saturday, correct?
Yeah.
Which sounds like it was an awesome event.
I watched it on YouTube, I think. I didn't go. I was nominated for like a sportsmanship award.
I was going to say, you didn't get an invite?
I didn't go. I did get an invite.
Okay.
I was nominated, but I didn't go.
I got you.
I got an invite and I went, and it was just amazing. It was outstanding.
That's all I heard about it was how amazing it was.
And that under the leadership of your sister-in-law and your brother, but Lainey Copeland, Emily Patterson, and Izzy Smith. What an unbelievable job those kids did. And all the kids, they had a blast. The Lady Raider wrestling team shows up in a big party van, and they went over to Lee.
That sounds about right.
Taken. You know, they were great. The football players showed up in their Letterman's jackets. It was just a great night, and they had pictures. They were taking pictures everywhere, and they really turned the arena into really a beautiful place. The beautiful job with the table setting. The food was good, thanks to Scott McGowan at Old Fort. Johnson Coca-Cola set them up on drinks, so it was fantastic.
Yeah, good stuff, and we are going to talk a lot more about that later on in the show. I believe we're going to be joined, as you mentioned, my brother, athletic director of Cleveland High School, Al Morris, is going to be calling into the show a little bit later to talk about the Blue Sea Awards. And then Ephraim, Sunday, had some district tournament baseball, or region tournament baseball going on, and you guys had a big win over a crosstown rival, right?
No, we did not.
That's right. You guys,
Lost to
you guys
Bradley.
lost in a
to
tight
Bradley.
one.
Yes, 2-1.
And then they lost.
And then they lost to Cookville.
That's
5-2.
right. I need to pay attention to Game Changer better. I just knew that we, and when I say we, our community did not get out of the weekend with the team surviving, unfortunately. But very, very good seasons for both of you guys. And if you could, I'm going to give you the floor for a second because, and I told Mark this before we came on air, he made a post on Instagram, kind of got me in my feels a little bit. As I read it, I was like, dang, E, you're pulling up my heartstrings here, man. And 16 out is how you signed off. And obviously, you had a great time playing for Coach Tucker and some amazing teammates over there at Cleveland.
Yeah, I did. I definitely did. And what I mainly focused on in mine was the relationship aspect you get out of baseball, the relationships with your teammates, all the wonderful guys you meet along the way. And basically, another thing I pointed on was the memorable times or the fun times you had. You don't remember all the hits. You don't remember all, the home runs, the celebrations, all things like this.
You remember a few of them.
I've hit a home run in my career. I'm a contact hitter. Yes, I remember a few of them. I have some videos of some, but I mainly remember all the fun times and the enjoyable times I had on that field and outside of that field, whether it's going to Monterey, whether it's going to somewhere with the boys over in Cleveland. Just those times are the times you remember and the times you cherish, especially going on. But I would love to go back on the field any day of the week now.
Yeah, it's good stuff. And Bradley went on next game. And fill me in here. Bradley played, was it, who did they play in the next game where they were eliminated?
They played Cookville.
Cookville, that's what I thought. Okay. And just a tip of the cap to both programs, Bradley and Cleveland, going on representing our area well in the region tournament. Unfortunately, season's coming to an end. So with that, no more high school baseball coverage for the season. Hate to say it, but we're moving on from that. But we do have so much to talk about today. Over the weekend, before I get to the weekend, before I get to that, actually, we do have a guest coming on around 5:15. Gary Ownby, the voice of the Bears, is going to talk about the Scott family basketball camps coming up. Always enjoy having Gary on. And then, of course, later on in the show, Cleveland High School Athletic Director Al Morris going to join the show to talk about the Blue Sea Awards that took place Saturday. But the big news for a lot of Braves fans, we talk a lot of Braves baseball here. Again, we are a part of the Braves Radio Network. It was a tough week if you're a Braves fan last week, losing Bobby Cox, and a few days prior, Ted Turner. Bobby Cox, a legendary Braves manager and Hall of Famer, passed away Saturday at the age of 84, just days, as I said, after former owner Ted Turner passed away.
Well, it's a sad day for baseball because the things that Ted Turner did, starting out with CNN and WTBS, bringing nationwide baseball on the superstations, and being a Cub fan, we had WGN and TBS weren't competitive, but Ted was able to do that, and as the owner, Ted did a great thing. The team definitely prospered, and then when Bobby Cox came back for the second time and took that out, what he did, and the players that I know that played for him said Bobby Cox was the best manager in the history of the game. He was a player's guy. Bobby took all the bullets, even when the guys were bad. Bobby took all the bullets, and he was just a fantastic guy to be your skipper.
Yeah, Bobby Cox is a guy that, speaking as a Braves fan, lifelong Braves fan, it felt like when you're watching games just about every single night in your home.
Right.
Back then, TBS, the Superstation, Ted Turner facilitated that for families across the country, very much like your Cubs on WGN.
Right.
And that in itself was such an amazing thing to be able to have that access. Even when you're on vacation down in Florida or wherever you were, you could turn on your Braves and watch your Braves. With that, you brought people into your home or wherever you were every single night, like Bobby Cox, who, when I talked to other Braves fans, he felt like a grandfather. He felt like the grandfather that was in the living room with you every night, and you'd see him go out there and get your favorite players' backs. He would argue for just about anybody. We've heard so many great stories, specifically some Greg Maddox stories of him purposely getting Bobby thrown out of some games. Some really good stuff.
Oh, that's true. But the best Greg Maddox story is when Bobby, I forget who they were playing. I think it was the Astros, and they wanted him to walk Biggio or somebody, and Mazzoni comes out, and Maddox says, listen, I'm going to throw him a changeup away, a fastball in, and he'll pop it up to Chipper. So Mazzoni goes back. Bobby's madder than all get out. He's pacing the dugout. Change up away. Next pitch, fastball in, pops up to Chipper. And they're in the dugout laughing.
You got to be kidding me.
And as Chipper catches the ball, he says, man, how does this guy able to do that? But Maddox was great. And again, Greg Maddox, people don't realize how cerebral he was. I mean, he thought everything out. You know, he had the thing with Eddie Perez, how they would call the pitches. And it was the Astros against Biggio. I guess it was Biggio. And what it was is, you know, I'm gonna throw a certain pitch, and he says, so he throws him that pitch, and he hits a bomb. And
I believe it's Jeff Bagwell.
Yeah, Bagwell, that's right. And he hits a bomb, and then Eddie's walking off, and he says, "What are you doing?" He says, Maddox goes, "We're a good team. They're a good team. We're going to see in the playoffs, and we're going to see him again." So they come up in the playoffs, and here's Maddox, same situation. Change up away, change up away, change up away. Strikes him out on 3 pitches. As they walk back to the dugout, Maddox goes, remember when he hit that home run? We set him up back then and never caught on. And the fact that Maddox was so smart about stuff like that. And I'll tell a quick Greg Maddox story. Greg Maddox is probably 13, 14 years old, and Mike was a couple years older. They're playing Legion ball in Las Vegas. And they would set these guys up. He said, hey, listen, we don't have enough guys. Can my little brother play? And Maddox would go out there and throw a no-hitter. It's like, how do you hit this guy? You know, so Greg Maddox has been a great player. And again, he didn't, his velo, if it got to 92, you were lucky. But he could spot the ball, and talking to some of my friends with the Cubs that would, when he would rehab, and they'd put the glove up, he put the glove up, they never moved. The ball hit the glove every time.
Yeah, it's good stuff. And, of course, I heard earlier, a lot of Braves fans have heard this. Greg Maddox had a little bit of a knack for getting Bobby tossed. Bobby would always kind of come down and consult with the pitchers when they were charting the games. And several times they'd say that Greg would be like, oh, this guy's terrible. And he'd go out there and end up getting tossed. And they would offer, because I wasn't aware of this at the time when it was going on, but every time Bobby was getting tossed, it was, I believe, a $500 fine on top of it. And Greg Maddox and John Smoltz and those guys, they would offer to pay for it because they knew he was getting set up by Greg Maddox. And Smoltz said at least 25 times throughout his career in Atlanta, Greg Maddox had Bobby thrown out of games in situations very similar, which is very Greg Maddox. Anyone that has been able to watch an interview or hear Greg Maddox.
And Maddox is a big prankster. By far, he may be the biggest prankster in the history of baseball.
Yeah, there's some we can't talk about on this show. There's some good ones. There's some really good ones. I highly recommend Chipper Jones' book, Ball Player. He reveals a few of those, and it's absolutely hilarious if you're into that kind of stuff. But hey, I want to share something you said to me, too, as we're coming into the studio today. And this was completely not premeditated, unplanned. But Mark's wearing his Dynasty Cleveland Wrestling Raider blue shirt. He's got on his pullover, his baseball pullover, Raider blue. And I'm wearing the throwback Atlanta Braves Royal blue polo. And Mark, what did you say to me when you saw me wearing this? What did you say?
Well, since you've got a new job, I said you look good in blue, and I didn't see it was an A. I thought it was a C.
Yeah, it's got the throwback Atlanta Braves A on it.
Yeah.
And this is what I responded to Mark. I've been told that I look good in this color wearing multiple colors is exactly what I said. Right, E?
That is true.
That is true. So just to be a little funny there for a second, in the midst of talking Bobby Cox, I tell you what. So I want to share a story before we take our first break. A Bobby Cox story, personal one, actually a couple. So there was one spring training. We're down at the Grapefruit League down there in Florida, and this was about 2 years. This was actually the season after Bobby had retired. So this was the 2011 spring training. And I had my son Maddox, named after Hall of Famer Greg Maddox. We're walking through the stadium there at Disney, and I almost threw out every picture we ever had. Almost said Greg Maddox, John Smoltz. Bobby Cox had came out of the VIP areas, the lounge right there beside the press box, where all the Braves executives would kind of congregate and meet and watch the prospects. Bobby had came out into the bleachers and sat down there at the Disney complex. Well, I'm not paying attention to this, and I'm walking through, and I'm carrying my son, and he points and starts saying, Bobby Cox, there's Bobby Cox. And I hear a chuckle, and I turn around, and it's Bobby Cox laughing. And he says, hey, come here. So we walk directly up to Bobby Cox, and he shakes Maddox's hand and talks to us for a second, signs a baseball, and we got to have a little bit of a Bobby Cox moment that was near and dear and personal. He didn't have to say anything. He didn't have to laugh, but he genuinely was just a nice, wholesome kind of guy.
Like I said, the players loved him. I know I was talking to John Lieber just the other day, how much he loved Bobby Cox. Mike Bilecki, man, Bobby Cox was the greatest thing in the world.
Yep.
And what they did and the way he went to bat for his guy. Mike Remlinger, another guy that played for both clubs. And
great arm.
Hey, Rem just absolutely Bobby Cox. I wish everybody was like Bobby Cox. You know, hey, I had a bad game, but Bobby Cox took all the bullets.
And so one more thing I want to share, Bobby Cox, is, and I posted this on my Facebook page. I'm not a big poster on there, but I felt compelled to share these stories. A few years later, with his front office position, and this was prior to his stroke, we were at Osceola County Stadium, which was the then spring training home of the Houston Astros. And it just started a torrential downpour, just absolutely pouring. And my wife was very pregnant with our youngest, our daughter Murphy, and I was carrying our daughter Kimbrel and walking with my son Maddox. Bobby Cox is walking with his umbrella and sees us, and we're about the only ones out there down the right field line where the clubhouse then was for the visiting team, which is where the Braves were, and they would have to kind of walk out right by that patio area to get onto the field. Well, they're leaving the field, and Bobby Cox is over there because he's walking towards the clubhouse. He sees us. He walks over with his umbrella and says, here, I can cover you up for a second. Just friendly as can be. He didn't remember us from the previous meeting. And he asked my kids their names. And my son said Maddox, and he didn't think anything of it. And he looked at my daughter. She was a baby at the time. And he said, what's her name? I said, her name's Kimbrel. Then he kind of smirked and smiled a little bit. And my wife is standing there, and she says, hey, can I get a picture of you guys together? And he saw that she was very far along in her pregnancy, and he said, what's that one's name? And she said, her name's going to be Murphy. And he just started chuckling again, just showing how it was the human side of Bobby Cox. And he stood there holding that umbrella over us so we could get a picture with him in a complete downpour. And he looked at my son and he said, I really like those names. And I just remember my son grinning ear to ear because, it was Bobby Cox.
There. The moral of that story is your wife is a saint.
She is. Listen,
she's a saint.
Just as much of a Braves fan as I am, by the way.
But that takes a lot right there. That's a lot of dedication. And I have some friends who have different ones. Gehrig, Payton, after Walter Payton, Lou Gehrig, and Landry after Tom Landry. So.
Hey, our friend Kevin Raper, big volunteer guy.
Neyland and Manning.
Yeah, both named after Tennessee greats.
Right.
And listen, I don't know if you remember this, years back over at Turner Field, Kevin Raper came to a game with me when they were taking on the Chicago Cubs, and we came over and said, hey to you.
Right.
Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
It's been a while ago.
That's been a while.
But we're about to run that back with the Cubs Braves. We're going to talk about that a little bit later on as well.
Forward to that.
That's right. But when we come to the two best teams of baseball right now, by the way.
Right.
But when we come back, we're going to have Gary Ownby on with us, the voice of the Bears, talking with the Scott family and their basketball camps coming up next here on The Drive on ESPN Cleveland 101.3.
The Drive will be back after a quick timeout. Stay tuned for more nonstop sports talk on The Drive, presented by Hardee's.
Joint pain can put a real damper on living life without limitations. Whether you're suffering from arthritis, sports injuries, or chronic joint pain, Center for Sports Medicine and Orthopedics offers the complete range of surgical and non-surgical solutions tailored to your unique needs. Call us today at 423-624-2696 or visit sportmed.com to take the first step toward a happier, healthier you. Center for Sports Medicine and Orthopedics. The Center for start to finish care.
A most elevated experience has arrived at Hardee's. Prime rib. Tender, succulent prime rib. Bathed in au jus. placed upon charbroiled Angus beef. The new prime rib experience with a burger exuding fancy flavor at a not-so-fancy price. Just $5.99 for My Rewards members on the app for a limited time. Price and participation may vary. Tax not included. Not valid for use within a combo or in combination with any other offer or discount.
Joint pain can put a real damper on living life without limitations. Whether you're suffering from arthritis, sports injuries, or chronic joint pain, Center for Sports Medicine and Orthopedics offers the complete range of surgical and non-surgical solutions tailored to your unique needs. Call us today at 423-624-2696 or visit sportmed.com to take the first step toward a happier, healthier you. Center for Sports Medicine and Orthopedics. The Center for start-to-finish care.
Hey y'all, this is Alfonso, General Manager over at Crown Cleveland. Please visit us online to see our entire used car inventory, all different makes and models, all different budget levels. Please give us an opportunity. Google Crown Cleveland.
Let's be real. Everyone's looking to cut costs, and now you can without cutting coverage. Allstate has just lowered the cost of car insurance. It's the same dependable coverage, just easier on your wallet. So if you want a better deal, check Allstate first. Just call your local Allstate agent, George Gray, to get a quote that could save you hundreds. Not available in every state. Rates and savings vary.
Welcome back to The Drive, presented by Hardee's. Join the conversation. Text 423-749-1013. You can also listen anywhere on our website, ESPNCleveland1013.com.
Welcome back to The Drive here on ESPN Cleveland, presented by Hardee's. We got a full house today. Our friend Gary Ownby joins the show along with me, Andy Morris, Mark Smith, and Ephraim Kyle. And Gary, always glad to see you. Always excited to talk. I know we're creeping up into the summertime. We're going to be previewing a lot of high school football coming up. Yep. So we're going to stay in touch with you on that. But right now, we're going to talk the Scott Family Basketball Camp, something that you're very familiar with.
Yep, it's coming up in July, and we're right now at the point where we need people to register their children, or they can register themselves if they know how to get on the internet and do that. And Scott family has been doing this since, I guess, 2017. We missed the COVID year. Ever since then, though, we've done it there at Jim Smead Arena. But it's open to any kid, 8 to 15, boys or girls, from any school. We don't care, where they're coming from, and it's 100% free. There's not many camps that we have in this area that are free. This is totally free, thanks to the generosity of the Scott family and also some great local sponsors that, like sitting across from us here, Mark Smith with McDonald's, each year that make it possible. And it's better than about any camp I've ever seen or been to or had my kids go to. And we just have a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. It's 4 days starting July the 21st in July, and we'll have it running for 4 days, Tuesday through Friday, 9 to 12. Registration starts check-in starts about 8:30. Registration got to come right now because we got to get ahead of the game here and order T-shirts for everyone, that's going to be there helping, working, and all the athletes, of course. And it's just a lot of fun. Alvin will come in from Phoenix. Terry will come in from Oklahoma. Gloria comes down from Knoxville. And Levi comes up from Chattanooga. And we give them all a hard time. They give us a hard time. So it's a lot of fun. Invite everybody after listening to us today, just come out there and watch it, participate. Some of the parents come, drop their kids off. Others want to stay and watch the whole thing. They do, and we get them involved when we can, and just have a good time.
And with that, I believe we've got a couple of the members of the Scott family on the phone with us.
Who we got here today, guys?
Alvin. I'm Alvin from Phoenix, Arizona. Out here to 106-degree weather.
Man,
and cold front, huh?
hey, Alvin, it's Mark Smith. It was 106 in March, so it really hasn't changed a lot, has it?
No, it has not. Matter of fact, it's supposed to get a little warmer in the next couple of days. So I'm ready to come home to Tennessee, hopefully to get some cooler weather and see some family and friends.
Well, every year you do that. It's like a family reunion with you guys. Go ahead, Terry.
Yeah, to piggyback Alvin, and you also. Every year I come on the show that I maybe come on the show, I talk about how this thing got started, and it got started when Alvin and I had a conversation about having a camp, and I said I don't mind doing it. I said, but it has to be free. And before we could even meet to try to make that work, we didn't have a facility, we didn't have any money, we didn't have any sponsors. We didn't have any kids. We didn't have any volunteers. And Jerry, you hosted me over at the park across from Raiders Stadium, and I said, "You said, what are your future plans going to be like?" I said, "We're going to have a free camp."
Yep.
And they said, with nothing. We started with nothing, and because of the generosity of people there in Cleveland, as well as they come all the way from California to Florida
Right.
to Colorado. I mean, they come up from all over because the concept is we have a religious-based camp, guys, and we depend on our Heavenly Father to send us the product. And we pray before every camp day. We have the meet and greet that's been put together at the Hardee Inn. That's our headquarters at the Hardee Inn. And we get to see friends, joke around, have a good time. And me being the director, I'm probably as great a delegator as there is. I do very little at the camp itself, but I just make sure the staff is happy, and that's what Albert and I are here to do, to make sure we got enough people, because we're getting older. We started in 2016, made the statement. It's 10 years ago. That means we're 10 years older, and I can't dance like I did back 10 years ago, but I can sure still talk. But I want to shout out to Bradley, my high school, and all the people that's involved, the coaches, athletic director, the principal, everybody there involved. And, of course, we can't forget about the director of media relations, Gary the Dog Army. That's what I call him. Everybody laughs.
I like
Gary
that.
the Dog Army.
The dog. I've been called a lot worse, but I'll take that.
I just want to thank Cleveland, Bradley County, and anywhere this program, this call-in show is broadcast. Just want to thank everybody, and that's that's my opening statement.
Well, Terry, I know you're in multiple Hall of Fames here in Cleveland, and also in the greater Chattanooga area and out in Oklahoma. You've won, 3 state titles, I believe, in basketball and track and field, things like that, after going to Middle Tennessee and Oral Roberts. And, of course, Alvin was at Oral Roberts, went on to play for the Phoenix Suns for 8 years there and had a great pro career. Gloria, all she did was make All-State 2 or 3 years, has a journey, retired at Bradley Central along with Alvin and all, and Levi played basketball there. So all 4 of you graduated from Bradley playing multiple sports and all, and you have a great legacy. You led the color barrier, broke the color barrier there back in '66 when you came over from when College Hill was shutting down, and I know it means a lot to you, and what you've meant to this community is unbelievable. And I was wearing your shirt one day just right before camp last year, and this lady stopped me on the street, on the sidewalk. I was walking my dog, actually, said, "Where'd you get the shirt at?" And I said, "I work this camp." She said, "Well, I'm there too. So when is it going to be?" So you never know who's going to reach out there and touch you. And I think the thing we like about your camp is it's not just about basketball skills. It's life education through sports, LETS. And you guys have lived it and dreamed it, and Gloria has too, and Levi. And I know it means a lot to you from your heart to come in here and see these guys. Like you say, we have the folks from California come in. I think the lady, cannot remember her name, but she's assistant athletic director at UCLA, and the guy from Florida State comes up each year. Derry Cochran comes in. He's pastor for church in Georgia. And you guys come all over the country. So we got people just everywhere. Plus, all your old schoolmates who still live around here and played basketball with you, like Wayne Rich and Gerald Burns and those guys that come in here. And it's just a reunion for you guys, and David Montgomery, and he'll be there with Martha and all that. It's not just for the girls. I mean, boys, it's for the girls and anybody who wants to come and join us and just have a little fun and a camaraderie and show these kids something. Because every day you have a speaker. We'll have law enforcement, someone speaking one day. You'll have a nutritionist speak one day normally. And with free lunch for the kids every day. It's all free, everything we do. So it's a lot more than just a camp.
Well, Gary said it, free lunch, free T-shirt. I might show up this year as well.
Come on over, Andy. But we've got to get these kids signed up on our website, letscamps.com, LETSCAMPS.com. Free to sign up there. Just go in there and get your name and contact information, plus your T-shirt size. And the thing about it, too, if I got 3 or 4 kids and I got to go send them all to camp, that's going to cost me a bundle of money. But I can send all of them to the camp for free, and they can all enjoy playing with each other, And we divide them up into skill levels, basically by age, but skill levels. And we've moved youngsters down from the upper where the young kids are to the lower gym where the older kids play, because we've seen their skill level was a little bit higher than some of the others. And a lot of those kids, since 2016, have played ball here at Bradley or Cleveland, Walker Valley through the years and gone on to college. Some of them have now. So it's just a fun thing to do for us.
Gary, I just want to add one more thing. I just thought about it. Is that John Starks, because you see him a lot with the New York Knicks, he's still in New York.
Yep.
He started the idea of having it when he would come home with the Knicks and have a free camp in Tulsa. It had 1,000 kids.
Wow.
And we had 1,000 kids, the same concept, for 3 hours of instructions and the lunch. And I wanted to do it in Cleveland and Auburn. And I've coached for 40 years, and I've worked these kind of camps, and they get the same identical schedule that they would get if they went to any other camp. But if they get a variety of, even the gifts. I mean, the gifts are not just bottom line gifts. We're talking about some expensive gifts that we give them. Auburn's got contacts with several NBA pro organizations, and I'm working with Oral Roberts. I just talked to him yesterday. Saturday, and I said, "Hey, you want to have a camp? We got to have. That's Oral Roberts Church got to come through Cleveland this year." And they said we're having a camp the first week of June. So I'm gonna camp out up there. If there's anything that come off of them kids that they ain't giving away up there, I'll just send them to Cleveland, Tennessee. That's how I do it. And thank God that we have this opportunity. We were all born in Cleveland. The house that me and Levi were born in, Gloria's going to buy the house. It's falling down, and we get one more chance to look at it, maybe, or it might be down on the ground time we get there. We're in the process of Gloria's buying that property over there on 16th Street, and it's just home. That's where our mother, our grandparents are buried there at Fort Hill Cemetery around the corner from Bradley. And it's just a homecoming, more than, like you said, Gary, it's more than just a basketball event. It's really a reunion with perks.
Yeah, and
some kids, we give them a gift. They've been there 5 years. We give them something. Some of them come to every one of them. Just out.
Well, they sure have. And I think in the past we've given out, everyone got a basketball. We had backpacks one year. We've had water bottles almost every single year, and just anything and everything. And I think the kids enjoy that, the chance to get out. And it's like 3 weeks before school starts again this fall. So it's just a fun time for everyone involved. And I highly recommend, if you've got youngsters 8 to 15, by the way, ages 8 to 15, boys and girls, to get them online and get them registered. And Andy, you have something to say?
Yeah, and Gary, what's that website again for our listeners?
Let's Camps, LETS Camps, CAMPS.com, letscamps.com, which stands for Life Education Through Sports. And I looked at it just this afternoon while I was working there at the school, and it's all set up, ready to go, and just put your information in there. And you can read the biographies of all four of the Scott family. They all played at Bradley, graduated at Bradley, and all that. And it tells what happened to them as they went on in their careers, and everything. A very impressive family, great legacy.
Great stuff. And Gary, I've heard you for years talk about how much you look forward to this event every summer. And I know you work the camp, but my question to you is, so you tell me you work the camp. Are you working on are you on a microphone, or are you out there showing everyone how to do the alley-oop?
They won't let me on the mic. They say I talk too much. So I work upstairs usually with the coaches up there. And I have the smaller kids, 8 and up through 10 or 12, whatever we have them split out as. And I stay out of the way of the coach. I just keep the kids in line, make sure they're in straight lines, and they're doing their things the right way in turns. And then we'll teach them dribbling skills, shooting skills, ball handling skills, and how to run up and down the court, and then we'll play games with them too. They like to always choose up, play some games. We do all kind of things. So it's different every year. From one year to the next, we don't really know exactly what we're going to do, but we need volunteers to come out and help us coach, and just be there and get involved. Get involved.
Yeah, that's great stuff. Great stuff. Definitely appreciate you guys coming on the show with us. Is there anything else you guys want to add? Again, letscamps.com, correct?
That's correct.
Gary, only thing I want to say is please have the kids or the parents have the kids sign up as soon as possible, because we do have a limit where we're only going to take so many, because we want to get something out of the camp. A lot of times, if you have too many kids, we want to accomplish the things, get our goals and things of that nature. So hopefully we can get everybody signed up in the next month. Then we can get our I guess what's it called, Terry, when you have a schedule what you're gonna do, and our t-shirts and backpacks and tumblers and all that other stuff in order.
Yeah. Yes, and don't forget about, guys, that we have not reached our goal as far as the donations. So there might be someone out there listening. So how can I help you guys offset your costs? And that's also online, and Alvin might want to address that. But he's the one that does all the enrollment and takes care of all the donations. So he has a big big responsibility, not just being at the camp, but making sure all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed. I have to give him a little bit of credit. He's the youngest, Gary. He should do more, shouldn't he?
Well, that's right. Those young kids, they can handle it.
Well, I know every March I get a phone call from Alvin. Hey, he goes, "This is Alvin Scott." I know, of course, I've got his name in the phone, you know, and he goes, "You gonna be able to help us this year?" I mean, and the way he just, it's like I don't know. It's like he doesn't know me, you know. And so I had the pleasure of being at a Suns game this spring, and I ran into Tom Chambers. I said, you know my buddy Alvin Scott. He says, "Yeah, how you know him?" Well, he's from my town.
The local legend.
Yeah, and so, but Tom says nothing but good things about you, Alvin. So, you know. So.
Mark, give me a call when you get back out here. Will you give me a call?
I call you all the time, man. You're always busy. You're probably the busiest guy in the Phoenix area.
Hey, Gary.
Yeah.
Listen who's talking. He's so busy.
Yeah.
Listen who's talking. Anyway, it's always great to talk to Mark, and he, like you say, he is funny now.
And, hey, we'll address the camp again, lescamps.com, and I will have a PSA, public service announcement, running on all three of our stations beginning this week, so they can listen to that and they can pick up where to call again.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, Alvin, last thing, if you need anything, if you need anything at all, call Mark Smith. He's going to take care of you, okay?
Hey, I got him on speed dial.
Good stuff. Like there. Hey, thank you guys so much for taking the time to come on with us today.
Okay, thank you very much.
You guys enjoy the day.
Talk with you soon.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Man, always a good time when we have them call on with us, Gary, to promote the camp.
Yeah, they do a great job. You know, great family there, and they do things the right way. And it makes you proud to know people like that because they understand. We know they've been through, you know, the campaigns. They've seen the good, they've seen the bad and the ugly, you know, I guess you could say. But tremendously athletic family, and I don't know another family we've ever had in this area that's got that many athletes in their family that have done and accomplished what they've done and then brought it back to the community and says, hey, we're here to help out and do that. And that's what makes you appreciate those guys.
Yeah, the fact that they're still not living here locally but make the effort, take the time to come back to contribute to the community, to the youth here in our community, that's something that everybody should respect. So any possible supporters, donors out there, hit them up. Definitely, it's a great thing to contribute to if you're going to contribute to anything.
Yep, it sure is, and Alvin and all of them will appreciate that. Alvin Soares handles the financial side of that, and on the website it tells you how to donate, a phone number to call him out there in Phoenix, and you can take care of all of that. And a lot of the guys want to do it every year. Hey, we're going to help you next year, you know. And some will come up there at the days of that. And just slip some money to them and say, hey, we're here to support you. We didn't know about this. We heard about it. We want to help you out here. So
yeah, good stuff. Once again, Gary Ownby, the voice of the Bears. As I said, to open this thing up, looking forward. We're creeping into summertime here, right around the corner. High school football getting started. We're going to have you back on with us soon, Gary.
Got a spring scrimmage game Thursday night at Bradley at 6 o'clock with Ray County.
There you go. Damon Floyd's Bears getting ready to get after it already that time of year.
Cleveland's playing in about 8 minutes.
Oh, wow. See?
East Hamilton.
Okay.
Listen.
So it's here, folks. Already.
It is sneaking up on us or already here if you want to say that. But, Gary, thanks again for taking the time to join us. You are listening to The Drive here on ESPN Cleveland 101.3. We'll be back talking a little bit more Braves baseball in just a second.
The Drive will be back after a quick timeout. Stay tuned for more nonstop sports talk on The Drive, presented by Hardee's.
When did breakfast get so bougie? At Hardee's, we're making breakfast so budgety with the $3.99 sausage biscuit meal deal. Made from scratch biscuits, a juicy grilled sausage patty, plus crispy hash browns and a drink, just $3.99. Ipso facto, it's not bougie, it's budgety. The $3.99 sausage biscuit meal, only at Hardee's. Price and participation may vary. Tax not included. Not valid for use within a combo or in combination with any other offer or discount.
Hey, this is Pastor James from Mount Olive Ministries, and I'd like to invite you and your family to come and experience what God is doing at Mount Olive. You know, oftentimes people ask me what they might expect when they attend our church. Well, let me tell you, when you arrive on our campus, whether it's been a while since you've been in church or this is your first time visiting, you'll receive a warm welcome. We want you to know that we are glad you're here. As we enter into a time of worship, you'll discover that we're a group of people passionate about worship. We strive to create an environment that allows us to engage and encounter the presence of God. And then as we open up the Bible, we learn and grow together as God speaks to us both individually and corporately. So again, whether it's been a few months or maybe even a few years since you've been to church, we want you to know that you are welcome here. And oh, if by some chance you're unable to attend in person, you can still worship with us online through our Facebook page by searching Mount Olive Ministries. We meet every Sunday at 11 a.m. Mount Olive is located at 3522 Harrison Pike. We hope to see you and your family soon.
Joint pain can put a real damper on living life without limitations. Whether you're suffering from arthritis, sports injuries, or chronic joint pain, Center for Sports Medicine and Orthopedics offers the complete range of surgical and non-surgical solutions tailored to your unique needs. Call us today at 423-624-2696 or visit sportmed.com to take the first step toward a happier, healthier you. Center for Sports Medicine and Orthopedics. The Center for start to finish care.
ESPN Cleveland 1013 has scored its very own app.
It shoots and scores.
With the ESPN app, you can listen live from anywhere. You'll get the links for the very latest sports news and information. Somebody made a huge trade? You'll know about it. Access to the latest scores and standings? You'll have it. Go to ESPNCleveland1013.com and download the brand new ESPN Cleveland 1013 app today at ESPNCleveland1013.com.
Cleveland Tire Center having a huge sale on Goodyear tires. Buy 3 Goodyears, get 1 free. Don't forget the Cleveland Tire Center service department for alignments, oil changes, and more. Cleveland Tire Center, 4699 North Lee Highway, where the name says it all. Goodyear, more driven.
Don't miss the Paul Feinbaum Show, weekday afternoons from 2 until 5 on ESPN Cleveland 1013. Always topical, always entertaining. Paul Feinbaum on ESPN Cleveland 1013, presented by Hardee's.
Cleveland, the all-new Select Flooring and Remodeling is now open at 5555 North Lee Highway. We carry the top flooring brands you know and trust: Mohawk, Shaw, Engineered Floors, and United Weavers. We also specialize in home remodeling and roofing, delivering quality you can count on. Take advantage of 24 months interest-free credit. Come see us Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, and Saturday, 9 to 2. Call us today at 423-889-3007. That's Select Flooring and Remodeling, 5555 North Lee Highway, Cleveland. From the floors to the roof, we've got you covered.
Not all composite decking is the same. Enjoy life's beautiful moments on an equally beautiful composite deck. Envision's products feature deep, non-repeating grains and distinct colors throughout each pour, offering a truly unique appearance unlike anything else on the market. Learn more and find inspiration for your project at Cleveland Plywood. Cleveland Plywood Company, 2700 20th Street Northeast in Cleveland.
Welcome back to The Drive, presented by Hardee's. Join the conversation. Text 423-749-1013. You can also listen anywhere on our website, ESPNCleveland1013.com.
Mayfield Dairy Chocolate Milk is a great recovery drink for athletes or anyone who likes to exercise. Rich in calcium and vitamin D, get Mayfield's famous chocolate milk at numerous locations in our area. You can find out more at MayfieldDairy.com. Of course, Mayfield Dairy, our primary sponsor for all things Atlanta Braves baseball right here on ESPN Cleveland in the Drive. And if you haven't already, download the free ESPN Cleveland 1013 app for up-to-the-date scores. When you're trying to see what's going on with the Braves, we've got you covered on the free ESPN Cleveland app. Also, you can visit ESPNCleveland1013.com. So with that, excited to be back here with my friend Mark Smith. And so I want to say this. We know you are the local Mr. Cub. When it comes to Cleveland, Tennessee, Mark Smith is Mr. Cub. All right, I know that's Ernie Banks' title.
Yeah, Ernie Banks was Mr. Cub. There's no question about that. None.
But you are our Mr. Cub. So
well, that's quite a compliment.
Excited to have you on here as it's safe to say, approaching what is the biggest series in Major League Baseball this season up to this point.
Correct.
And to start with, the Atlanta Braves have the largest division lead in all of Major League Baseball, 9 games, and the best record in Major League Baseball at 28-13. But they're followed very closely by the Chicago Cubs. And, of course, the Cubs playing some solid baseball right now. Been very impressed with the pitching from the Cubs, so we are going to get into that here in just a second. But over the weekend, the Braves did some work out in L.A., taking 2 or 3 from Freddie Freeman and the Dodgers in Game 1. Dropped that one 3-1. Easily could have been a sweep out there if they had some timely hitting that just didn't really manifest. It was kind of that game you kind of look at and you're like, oh, this is last year's Braves team, not pushing in runs and stuff. But luckily, able to get it done in Game 2 with the win 7-2. Spencer Strider was on the mound for that one. 6 innings, no runs, only 2 walks and 8 strikeouts. That is something that Braves fans need to be really excited about, seeing Spencer Strider back in that form this soon from coming off the IL is talk about a shot in the arm to an already strong rotation.
He's such a great guy. His father-in-law is a good friend of mine, and I had the pleasure of meeting him at a UT basketball game. And what a great guy he is. And, man, how they ask him some questions about pitching and how he looks at hitters. It's just, man, it just tears it up. Does a great job in understanding what it is and how you get guys out.
Yeah, and you know what one of his nicknames is, right? Quadzilla, because his quads are just so big. That's something the kids like to throw out there when they talk about Spencer Strider. Just talk about a guy that pitches with his hips and his lower torso. Just a powerful pitcher from a guy that's not very big in stature.
Well, that's where you get your power from. You know, whether you're pitching or hitting, your power's in your legs. So you look at like Mike Trout.
Hey, you threw out Trout. Have you heard the rumors
that they're going to trade for him? I don't think Hardee Moreno's going to do that.
If you're Alex Anthopoulos, are you taking calls on Trout?
I would definitely. Trout is a generational player. And you might think, he's not in his prime anymore, but like he's hitting like a top
solid
hitter right now.
He's solid.
Top 20, top 30 hitter right now.
Are the Angels going to want the farm for him, though, is a question.
Yes. Yeah, they should. They honestly should.
They're going to want a haul.
They should take a rebuild mode. They should take like a Marlins route, not just sell everybody, but sell their big guy, Mike
They
Trout.
are paying a lot of money to him to not make the playoffs every single year, unfortunately for Mike Trout. But going back to the Braves-Dodgers, Game 3 was yesterday, and the Braves also won that game 7-2. Bryce Elder went 5 2/3, no runs, only 4 walks, 8 strikeouts as well. So the Braves starting pitching looking solid. The Braves are off tonight. Tomorrow, Braves start that 6-game homestand 3 with the red-hot Chicago Cubs, who are currently 27-14. That's the second-best record in Major League Baseball behind your Atlanta Braves. But the Cubs first in the National League Central, 3.5-game lead there, which is the second-best in all of Major League Baseball. So this series is going to be very telling. Mark, do you plan on making any games? I might have to.
Not this week. Unfortunately, these comes up, and there's other things in life that come up, and right now it's going to be great here. The Cubs lost 2 out of 3 in Texas. Looking forward to come to
which I think they won the 9 previous games before that.
They've had 2 streaks of 10-game winning. So
that's insane.
Before they went on the first one, they were 7-9. But their offense, I mean, and it's everybody. It's Carson Kelly, it's Bush, it's Nico Horner, it's Swanson, it's Bregman. And Bregman's an interesting guy because he runs the clubhouse. He walked in on day one and ran the clubhouse.
He's a personality. There's no doubt.
He's the leader in the clubhouse.
He's kind of a throwback, honestly. I love the grit that he plays with. And listen, this day and age, you see a lot of players kind of chumming it up before the game. He's kind of old school. He's not that guy. When he shows up to the ballpark, he's showing up to do work.
You know, and he leads by example. I mean, he gets out there and he's tough as nails.
Yeah, good. So good stuff.
It'll be a good series. I think the Cubs will take 2 out of 3 of Atlanta. So
yeah, listen, I might have to pull the trigger and make a trip down there for one of them. I'll send you some good pictures if I do, Mark.
We'll be flying the W. So
we'll see. We'll see.
Do you know the story of the W? The flying the W?
I have heard the story.
Okay.
So, hey, with that, we're going to have you back on. I don't know what your schedule looks like at the end of the series. Whoever wins the series, 3-game series, whoever wins, we're going to talk Braves Cubs, recap it. Does that sound good to you?
It's going to be a great baseball. Go if you can go.
Good deal. All right, so real quick, we've got a caller on the line. I know this guy pretty well, Mark. I think you do too.
I do too.
He is the athletic director for Cleveland High School, Al Morris. Thank you so much for taking the time to join the drive today here on ESPN Cleveland 101.3.
Absolutely. Hey, guys, how are y'all doing today?
Good. I just want to know who beat up who. You?
He's older. It was him. I'm going to just get this out of the way before he runs with it. He's big brother.
I have no comment. No comment. I'm the good brother.
I don't know about that now.
I'll just say this. He taught me everything I know. How about that, Mark?
There you go.
But, hey, so the reason we're having you on, not to talk about, just craziness from when we were kids.
Sibling rivalry.
Yeah, but obviously had the first annual award ceremony. And if you could, first of all, kind of let our listeners know how this came to fruition.
Wow. Well, if you know my mind, it just runs randomly all the time. And constantly I'm trying to think, what can we do to separate ourselves? And, when you start thinking about high school athletics and you start thinking about college athletics and, you try to give kids the best opportunity before they graduate at those levels. And, being in a high school, you're limited on resources. You don't have the same financials. You don't have the same, people as, the grad assistant type people to work with and that kind of thing. But, we wanted to try to pull something together where we had all of our athletes under one roof in one building at one time. We all know the sports world. We know how fall, spring, and winter sports are, and it's a constant go. When everybody goes their separate ways, everybody's coaching, and nobody can get together. Trying to have coaches meetings are like the hardest thing in the world because if somebody's not playing, somebody's practicing, somebody's in the weight room, and the vision of it was let's get everybody under one roof. And obviously Ryder Arena is a beautiful facility. And, we got with Lainey, Emily, and Izzy, and obviously my wife, Jenna. We're a tag team duo. And, we got this thing rolling, man. It was just such an amazing event. And, all we've heard about all day today is the kids that didn't go were going like, man, I'm going next year. They didn't realize what it was. I think sometimes some of the emphasis got put on awards. The awards were not supposed to be really, I know it's called the Blue Sea Awards, but it was mainly about the fellowship and getting everybody together. And that the awards were kind of I guess you could say a filler to fill the time. And, one thing we may change out of it is make it more superlative awards than like team awards or anything like that. But ultimately, it was pretty awesome.
So from what I saw, you guys kind of had a process on social media where you shared what some of the awards were going to be. And there were more kind of fun awards from what it looked like where people could kind of did you allow a vote or how did that work?
Yeah, so our Student Athletic Council, we had one. This is the first year we had that. They submitted names. We asked them to make any recommendations. We also had every head coach put input in and make their recommendations. Obviously, our administration had some input. So we had a lot of people that had input on it. And like I said, it was a pretty smooth process. The hardest part out of the whole thing was how many people were going to show up, and we had a really good crowd. The kids understood the assignment. We had the wrestlers showing up in party buses, They were dressed up, GQ, decked out to the T. I mean, you name it. These kids dressed up very well, and you thought you were at the ESPYs or the Grammys or whatever they are. So.
Well, I do have a recommendation. I think you need to do a Best Dressed award. Now, most places do the red carpet, like Major League Baseball at the All-Star Game. They have the All-Star Game red carpet, and they give out the superlative Best Dressed. You guys have the blue carpet at the Blue Sea Awards, and if I could give out a superlative for the Best Dressed, me and Mark were actually just talking about this a minute ago, it's got to be Kai Morris.
Oh, yeah. There's no question about it. Kai with the sunglasses and the three-piece suit and the chain, and he was the star of the show. He was the BMOC, and he's not even in school there.
If anybody knows my youngest son, Kai, everybody knows he's I guess you'd call it prima donna. He likes to dress up and flash and dash, and not sure how much lead's behind all that, but he got excited about dressing up, and like I said, he had the glasses, and you see him in a football uniform, he wants to put the visor on, he wants the towel on, he wants the glove, you name it, he's got it. So, but no, it was really a cool event, man. Our coaches, man, they got dressed up and looked really well. I mean, everybody came, and it was a personable event, and that's what you wanted. And it was so good to see other sports interacting with other sport athletes, and and I've talked to Mr. Pritchard and our administration, and like literally they think that might have been the best event that's ever happened at this high school.
I'd say you're pretty close. But the fascinating story of how it all came about is your wife Jenna has her Leadership 3 class, and they all had projects of stuff that would leave an everlasting impact on the school. And I think this event is definitely that, under your tutelage and your guidance, that the three girls just did a great job, and they just knocked it out of the, and it was great to have everybody involved that was there.
It was, and we met today. We went back over, how it played out, what went down, what would we do differently. I know, Mark, you even had some suggestions, and there wasn't a whole lot we all wanted to change. So that was the best part. It was more so, how can we make it better? And our numbers were very low on that as well. So, as time rolls on, we'll pick up some more ideas and we'll implement those. But like I said, the main goal is to get the kids together and celebrate them and what they have achieved.
Yeah, Mark was telling me about how the transformation of Raider Arena was really neat, and that it just seemed like a different place for the Blue Sea Awards.
It was amazing.
It really did.
Al, you did a great job with the lighting. Everything, it was just perfect. It really was. And the way that you had the three screens for the backdrops for pictures, there were photographers everywhere. There was the Cleveland Live, the video, Dal Heffaker. What a great job he did. And he does,
yes,
and then just the way everybody came together, and it was great. Like the football guys all wore their Letterman's jackets, it's 800 degrees out, and they're wearing their Letterman's jackets.
That's cool, though. That's cool.
That was great. And then of course, the Lady Raider wrestling team came up in that show party van, and they went over to Lee and had their pictures taken. And it was just a great event. And Jenna gets a lot of credit, and she needs it because she did just an outstanding job.
Absolutely. Yeah, there was a lot of people that had their hands in that whole thing. Like you said, Dale's group. I mean, how cool was this? We went back and rewatched it just because you don't have a chance to embrace the moment when you're in it and you're trying to think, what's going to go wrong? What can I do to fix it? You're just sitting there thinking about everything while this is going on.
Yeah, you're trying to make sure it's running smooth.
Yeah, exactly. And we had Martez Barber and Jay Garcia emceeing the thing. And how cool was it, though, to see the kids coming down the blue carpet? They're being asked, hey, where did you get your fit from? And the kids are like, oh, I got it over here at Hickson. Oh, I got it at Town Squire. Oh, I got it in my dad's closet, And, it made everybody feel special in some kind of way. In whatever way in their mind they felt, that's how they felt. And that's exactly what we wanted. So, but we had a really good time with it. The kids had a great time with it. And I expect the numbers I mean, well, I can tell you the numbers are going to go up because we're going to invite some extra people next year. So outside people to also embrace this event.
Well, you mentioned the production of the Blue Sea Awards, and it was a great production. I was able to go back and rewatch some of it. If you could share with our listeners how they can go back and watch the Blue Sea Awards.
Yeah, even though Steve Hartline did not show up for us, like he said on Mixed TV, he had a engagement his wife did not tell him about, so he was unable to attend, unfortunately. But no, you can go to Mixed TV and watch it, CHS Live, and I think on Facebook. This is where the technology kicks me, but I think if you watch CHS Live on Facebook, it actually has almost all of the show on there. If you watch it strictly on YouTube, it starts late at some point in time on there. So, but Facebook CHS Live had the whole show on it.
Well, good stuff. Once again, joined by Cleveland High School Athletic Director Al Morris, talking about the Blue Sea Awards, first annual Blue Sea Awards. So this is definitely something that you guys plan to keep rolling moving forward.
Absolutely. We're going to be looking for a sponsor for this in the next year. So anybody that wants to help sponsor this thing, we would love to have you. Again, this is a very unique thing. I even talked to some people at Baylor. Baylor High School doesn't do stuff like this. I mean, it's so rare that you're able to do these kind of things. And having the facilities we have, the people that we have, just the digital media team we have, and the kids' desire to put something like this on is just rare. And then obviously the adults to follow through with it. And again, this is why I say Cleveland is a special place, and we're going to take advantage of it while we can.
Hey, one more time before we let you go, if you could give those three girls credit that came up with the idea.
Emily Patterson, Izzy Smith, and Laney Copeland.
And it is a great day to be a Blue Raider.
It is always a great day to be a Blue
Listen,
Raider.
we just had Gary Umby on, and when he walked out, he said, "God bless and go Bears." So little heated rivalry going on here on the drive today, right, Mark?
Well, I can tell you, we can't say that at Cleveland. We've been called by some certain groups that we're not allowed to say that word for some reason.
Those words will never be said.
Yeah.
Well, hey, Al, we appreciate you taking the time to join the drive today, and definitely want to have you back on soon to recap the year that was for Cleveland High School athletics. That's something that we're wanting to do with all three of our local high schools, so definitely going to be getting with you soon.
Sounds good, guys. I appreciate y'all having me on.
Thanks.
Hey, for Mark Smith, Ephraim, Kyle, listen, next year maybe we'll drag you to the Blue Sea Awards since you missed this year.
High school graduate.
Yeah,
right.
High school graduate. I'll be at Lee University, so I'll be in town. I mean, if you want me to speak at it, I could speak at it, do all those little things.
Hey, here's an idea. Next year's Blue Sea Awards alumni spotlight with Ephraim Kyle.
Wow, beautiful idea.
How about that?
That's amazing.
You've been listening to The Drive here on ESPN Cleveland. Always great to be on your radio and the free ESPN Cleveland 101.3 app. Have a great day, everybody. We'll be with you tomorrow.
Listen to the Alon Exchange, hosted by financial professionals Jay and Brittany Hagee, owners of Alon Planning Partners. Each week, they discuss all things financial and answer your questions about investing.